Stop pretending you don't know what to do with your life. You do. You're just avoiding it. Listen, your mind isn't confused. It's comfortable. That's the real problem. Comfort is a soft prison with satin sheets and a smiling warden, you. You keep fluffing the pillow and calling it waiting for clarity. Meanwhile, your potential is rusting in the you corner. Here's the first slap of truth. Purpose isn't found. It's built. You don't dig it out of some hidden cave after a weekend retreat. You assemble it from small, real decisions you make every single day. Purpose is not a lightning strike. It's a routine. Second slap. You are not short on motivation. You are drowning in noise, scrolling, comparing, starting 10 things, finishing none. You've mistaken motion for progress. You've mistaken ideas for action. You've mistaken self-help for self-respect. Third slap. Your brain is a con artist. It sells you excuses in your own voice. I'm not ready. I need more research. The timing isn't right. Lies, all of them. Your brain is optimized for survival, not greatness. Comfort kept your ancestors alive. Now it keeps your potential asleep. Let's rip the mask off. You've been giving away responsibility like it's radioactive. Waiting for the job. Waiting for the partner. Waiting for permission. Waiting for the sign. The sign already happened. You woke up today. That was the sign. You get one every morning. What more do you want? Fireworks over your bed? Here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. Your life looks like your standards. Not your dreams. Not your vision board. Your standards. You can talk about freedom all day, but freedom isn't the absence of rules. It's the presence of the right ones. Discipline is the price of admission to a free life. No discipline? No freedom. Just drift. You think purpose is an identity. It's not. It's a responsibility you volunteer for. It's you saying, I will carry this weight. I will do it daily. I will improve. Purpose is built in the reps. Like strength. Like craft. Like respect. You don't need an epiphany. You need a block of time. 30 minutes minimum. Every day. Guard it like it pays your rent because eventually it will. You pour those 30 minutes into one thing that matters. Not 10. One. You don't have to be sure it's the one. You just have to be sure it's not pointless. You can course correct later. You cannot correct what you never start. You're waiting to feel ready because you think passion comes first. Wrong order. Passion is a lagging indicator. You earn it by getting good at something useful. Skill produces pride. Pride fuels passion. Passion sustains consistency. That's the chain. You've been trying to start the engine from the muffler. Let's talk about your environment. You want to be free? Start by saying no. No to the obligations that keep you busy and broke. No to the people who drain you, distract you, domesticate you. Yes, I said domesticate. Their expectations are a leash. They'll call you selfish for slipping it. Good. Let them. They benefit from your confusion. They benefit from your softness. You don't. Freedom is not wandering. Freedom is choosing. Choose the weight you'll carry. Choose the skill you'll sharpen. Choose the standard you won't negotiate. If you can't choose yet, then choose the experiment. 90 days, one focus, same time, daily. You'll either build traction or get data. Either way, you win. You think you need a map. You don't. You need a compass. A map requires roads that already exist. A compass just needs a direction. Responsibility is north. Curiosity is the path. Walk, adjust, keep walking. That's purpose. Let me guess your current routine. Wake up, grab phone, flood your brain with 1,000 lives that aren't yours. Shrink, get distracted, do shallow tasks. Promise you'll start later. Night comes. Guilt visits. Repeat. How long do you want to run that loop? 10 years, 20? That's the cost of confusion masquerading as humility. It's not humility. It's fear wearing a polite smile. You want a step-by-step? Fine. Here's the unromantic version. Pick one challenge you can own. A craft, a field, a problem to solve. Not because it's guaranteed, because it's yours to carry right now. Define the smallest daily unit of progress. 30 deliberate minutes, deep work. No phone, no tabs. No quick check, do it at the same time. Every day. Miss a day, double the next. No stories, no pity. Keep the chain alive. Find or build a community, but choose one that values work over talk. If they celebrate shipping, you're safe. If they celebrate vibes, run. Identify what you will kill. You can't add without subtracting. Cut one habit that steals your focus. Late night doom scroll. Pointless drama. Endless research that never turns into action. Choose the cut. Make it hurt. Feel the space it creates. Fill that space with your 30 minutes. Track output, not mood. Moods are weather. Output is climate. You want a new climate. If this sounds intense, it's because your life is. You get one. You already know this, but you act like there's a backup copy. There isn't. Every day you spend thinking about it is a day you train your brain to hesitate. Hesitation is a habit. So is execution. Choose your habit. You may say, but what if I pick the wrong purpose? You will, at first. That's how this works. You'll start with ego goals, vanity goals, borrowed goals. You'll start to move. Movement clears fog. As you improve, you'll see more. You'll spot the work that actually matters, the responsibility that feels heavy but right. Then you'll shift. That's not failure. That's refinement. You don't edit a blank page. You edit a messy draft. And while we're here, stop romanticizing chaos. The tortured, free spirit identity is just avoidance with a costume. Order creates the freedom to be wild in the right places. Put your wildness inside your craft, not your calendar. Your excuses sound logical. They always will. I'm too old. No, you're too used to being who you were. I'm too young. No, you're too eager to be approved. I'm too busy. No, you're too scattered. Time is not your enemy. Ambiguity is. Clarity doesn't arrive. It accumulates. Through repetition. Through responsibility. Through cuts. You want a purpose test? Answer 3 hard questions. What can you do for 30 minutes a day without external applause? What problem would you still care about if no one gave you credit? What weight do you feel guilty not carrying? Your honest answers point to your next 90 days. Not your forever. Your next, that's enough. Your life changes in the next, not the forever. Maybe you're in a noisy city, cramped apartment, juggling school, or a job you hate. Good. Noise is a filter. If you can build focus here, you can build it anywhere. People wait for perfect conditions and die waiting. Stop negotiating with the weather. Be the climate. Here's the mindset shift I want stamped into your head. Purpose equals responsibility plus curiosity. Responsibility keeps you grounded. Curiosity keeps you moving. Remove either and you'll spin out. Add both and you become dangerous. The calm kind of dangerous that ships every day while everyone else argues online about which notebook app to use. You won't be ready. You'll be responsible. Then you'll get good. Then the feeling comes. That feeling you've been begging for before the work. It'll show up after the work like a quiet nod. That's pride. Earned pride. Stable pride. The kind that lets you sleep at night and wake up hungry. You want freedom? Set your rules. 30-minute non-negotiable. 1 focus, 1 cut. Daily output. Weekly review. Monthly experiment, repeat. Simple doesn't mean easy, but simple is doable. And doable is how lives change. I don't care where you start. Start small. Start messy. Start while scared. Just start with respect. Respect for your time. Respect for your focus. Respect for the future you who's watching, hoping you stop folding when it counts. You are not confused. You are undisciplined. Fix that and purpose will stop hiding. It was never hiding. It was waiting for you to act like you meant it. Take the first rep today, or keep rehearsing your apology to yourself in 10 years. Your move. You want the brutal truth? Your relationships are either rocket fuel or dead weight for your purpose. There's no neutral. Every person in your orbit is shaping your standards, pulling you up or pulling you under. And yes, I'm including the situationship you pretend is casual, but think about every night. Attraction dynamics aren't a side quest. They are a mirror. They reveal what you're willing to tolerate and what you believe you deserve. If your love life is chaos, your purpose will be too. Here's a hard pill. People don't fall for your potential. They fall for your patterns. You can talk vision and values all day. If your pattern is inconsistency, they'll experience inconsistency. If your pattern is avoidance, they'll drown in silence. Stop branding yourself with words you don't embody with actions. Purpose is credibility, and credibility is built in the dull, daily micro-choices that no one applauds. Let's drag another truth into the light. You're addicted. Not to your phone is just the needle. You're addicted to uncertainty, to the thrill of maybe. Maybe they'll text. Maybe this project will explode. Maybe the next idea will change everything. That dopamine spike keeps you from the one thing that actually builds a life, predictable effort. Predictable effort is boring. Boring is where mastery grows. But you keep feeding on drama because drama is a shortcut to feeling alive. Kick the habit. Replace drama with discipline. Psychology time, no fluff. Your nervous system has a baseline. It's calibrated by your history, your family, your first heartbreak, your failures, your quiet wins. If chaos was normal, stability feels awkward. If criticism was normal, support feels suspicious. So when your life starts improving, you self-sabotage to return to familiar discomfort. That's not fate. That's conditioning. The fix is exposure and repetition. Expose yourself to boring stability. Repeat it until calm becomes your new normal. You're not broken. You're calibrated. Recalibrate attachment dynamics? Let's go there. If you chase people who treat you like an option, it's because you treat your goals the same way. If you're avoidant with feedback, you'll be avoidant with intimacy. If you're anxious with love, you're likely anxious with deadlines. Clinging, over-explaining, never trusting your work to stand alone. Purpose requires secure attachment to your process. I show up, I ship, I learn. No love bombing your goals. No ghosting them either. Just steady presence. You want chemistry in relationships and in work. Here's the reframe. Chemistry is compatibility plus commitment. Compatibility without commitment is infatuation. Commitment without compatibility is obligation. Purpose is where both unite. You pick a domain that suits your strengths, compatibility. Then you stay long enough to become someone rare, commitment. Stop treating your craft like Tinder. Swipe less. Build more. Let me talk to the romantic in you who thinks purpose will bloom once you find the right person. Backward. The person who's right for you can't even recognize you until you become the version of you that respects your time. Attraction is pattern recognition. High-caliber people look for high-caliber patterns. Boundaries, follow-through, selective yes, healthy no, consistent self-respect. You're not being rejected. You're being correctly filtered for operating at a low standard. Raise it. Harsh realization. Love without self-respect becomes permission for your worst habits. You'll call it support, but it's sabotage in a sweet voice. If they always agree, if they never challenge you, if they encourage your distractions because it keeps you happy, they're not a partner, they're an enabler. And maybe you like it because it lets you hide. Stop calling softness what is really surrender. Another slap, charisma without character is counterfeit leadership. You want people to follow you, believe in your ideas, join your mission? Earn it. Start by doing what you say you'll do, when you say you'll do it, especially when no one is watching. Your word is a contract. If you break it with yourself, you've already broken it with everyone else. Attraction Dynamics 101. Reliability is magnetic. Flakes repel. Let's simplify your social life with one ruthless filter. Does this person make it easier or harder for you to keep your promises to yourself? Keep the first. Distance the second. No melodrama, no speech. Just alignment. Your calendar will tell the story anyway. The right people will notice your consistency and move closer. The wrong people will call you changed. Good. You're supposed to change. Now, about your identity. You've built a playlist of labels: procrastinator, perfectionist, overthinker, impulsive, sensitive, whatever. Identity is sticky because it dictates behavior, but identity shifts faster than you think if you attach it to verbs, not nouns. I'm a person who shows up for 30 minutes. That's a verb identity. It can't be argued with. You did or you didn't. The more times you do, the more you are. Purpose is accumulated verbs. Here's a surgical exercise to rewire your standards. Write your 3 most common excuses in the exact words your brain uses. Don't sanitize them. I'll start later. I'm tired. I need to feel inspired. This is your enemy's script. Write a preloaded counter for each. Short, punchy, aggressive. Later is a liar. Tired is a trigger, not a stop sign. Action creates inspiration. Put these counters where your excuses show up. Lock screen, desk, bathroom mirror. Fight voice with voice. Build a friction map. Where are the micro frictions stealing your focus? Notifications. Messy desk. Ambiguous task names. Social apps on your home screen. Remove, rename, relocate. If it takes more than 2 taps to access a distraction, you'll skip it more often. Make work the path of least resistance. Understand this. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. You can white-knuckle for a day, maybe a week, but your setup wins long-term. People who seem disciplined are usually just cleverly constrained. They made the right thing easy. They made the wrong thing annoying. That's not lack of freedom. That's how grown-ups architect freedom. Let's confront your perfectionism. Perfectionism is spiritual procrastination. It dresses like high standards but acts like fear. You're not protecting quality. You're protecting your ego from visible mediocrity. The cure is public reps. Ship on a cadence. Weekly, non-negotiable, small, ugly, improving. Let people watch you level up. That's called courage. It's also called marketing. Now the emotional layer. You want to feel safer inside your own head? Keep more promises to yourself than you break. That's the foundation of self-trust. Self-trust is the thermostat for anxiety. The more you trust yourself to do what you say, the less your brain panics about tomorrow. This is mental health hygiene. Floss your integrity daily. A note on failure. You keep treating failure like a verdict. It's not. It's a measurement. It tells you what your current skill can't yet do. Good. You needed that data. The fastest way to grow is to fail in short cycles with tight feedback. Long cycles plus vague feedback equals slow death. You can't steer what you don't ship. If you're still craving a single purpose statement, here's a framework that actually moves the needle. Pick a people. Who suffers in a way that wakes you up? Pick a pain. What problem steals their peace? Pick a process. What skill can you stack daily to reduce that pain? Congratulations. That's a working purpose, not poetic. Effective. You don't need to announce it online. You need to do it offline, repeatedly, until results speak louder than captions. Don't ignore your body in this conversation. Biochemistry is part of behavior. Sleep like a pro or think like a clown. Hydrate. Lift something heavy. Walk. These are not lifestyle accessories. They are cognitive upgrades. A foggy brain can't build a clear life. Basic doesn't mean optional. You ask, where's the love in all this discipline? Right here. The most loving thing you can do for future relationships, for your family, for your community, is to stop being unreliable. To stop promising potential and start delivering presence. To be a person people can count on. When you become reliable, your circle stabilizes. When your circle stabilizes, your purpose compounds. Here's your mindset shift for this section. Stop chasing feelings. Start designing context. Feelings follow context. You want to feel creative? Sit at the same desk, same time, with the same ritual. You want to feel focused? Close the same 5 tabs and open the one that matters. You want to feel loved? Become someone whose boundaries make room for real intimacy, not scraps of attention. Context creates consistency. Consistency creates identity. Identity creates destiny. 2 final shocks before you flinch back into old habits. You are exactly as busy as your boundaries allow. If your day is chaos, it's because you're letting people schedule your life by default. Your type in relationships is often just your trauma trying to be familiar. If you keep picking the same pattern, it's not fate. It's loyalty to an old wound. Break it by changing one rule. No more attention that costs you your self-respect. Takeaway. Small but lethal. Choose one boundary you'll enforce this week that protects your 30-minute non-negotiable. 1. Maybe it's no phone before it. Maybe it's a hard no to last-minute plans. Maybe it's moving your alarm across the room. Enforce it 7 days straight. Feel the power that returns to your spine. You keep asking for a sign. Here it is again. Your life is responding to your standards in real time. Raise them or keep rehearsing why you can't. Choose, then prove it. You keep thinking purpose is a finish line. It isn't. It's a fight. A daily one. Against your impulses. Against your old story. Against a world engineered to hijack your attention before breakfast. You want meaning? Learn to outsmart your biology and outdesign your environment. Otherwise, you'll keep losing the same day on repeat and calling it busy. Start with your mind. It's not a temple, it's a gym. If you don't stress it on purpose, it will stress you by default. Anxiety is often unspent energy with nowhere useful to go. Give it a job. Put it under reps. Focused work, deep practice, deliberate discomfort. You need scheduled friction. Cold shower, early alarm, hard conversation. Not because discomfort is cute, but because your nervous system must be retrained to stop panicking when you try to grow. Now the hard psychology. You are not a mystery. You are a bundle of loops. Cue, routine, reward. Most of your character is just patterns you've rehearsed. You can change them, but you can't negotiate with them. You must replace them. That's why your willpower keeps failing, because you're arguing with a loop when you should be reprogramming it. Choose a trigger you already have. Coffee, commute, lunch. Chain your 30-minute focus block to it. Same cue, same sequence. Zero debate. Ritual beats motivation every time. Let's crush a sacred cow. Inspiration. You're treating it like oxygen. It's more like dessert. Nice when it shows up. Not required for survival. The brain rewards completion, not contemplation. Finish something small. Feel that chemical win. Use it like a lever for the next rep. Stack wins until your baseline is, I do what I said, instead of, I wait until I feel like it. Feelings follow finish lines, not the other way around. Attraction dynamics again, because your personal life is either scaffolding or sabotage. People don't trust words, they trust patterns under pressure. When you hit resistance, tired, upset, bored, your pattern shows. That's when your partner, your friends, your peers decide what you're really about. If your default under pressure is collapse, you teach everyone to treat your promises like suggestions. If your default is composure and course correction, you become gravity. People orbit gravity. Shocking truth number 1. Your I don't know my purpose is often a smokescreen for I don't want to become unrecognizable to the people who knew me when I was small. You're scared of outgrowing your circle, so you stall. You crack jokes about grind culture. You call discipline toxic. You protect the bond by sacrificing your becoming. Stop confusing loyalty with self-betrayal. Shocking truth. The 2, you say you want freedom, but your calendar is a hostage note you wrote yourself. Every unchecked box is proof you're negotiating with your own word. That's why you feel heavy at night. Not because you did too little, because you lied to yourself too many times. Shocking truth number 3. Your standards aren't standards until they cost you something. A late cancellation, an opportunity that doesn't fit, a relationship that won't respect your work block. If nothing breaks when you raise your standards, you didn't raise them. You just posted a quote. Let's talk mechanics. Identity change isn't woo-woo. It's Bayesian. Your brain updates its belief about you based on evidence, micro-evidence. Did you show up? Did you ship? Did you enforce the boundary? Each rep is a data point. Stack enough and the posterior belief flips. I'm not a disciplined person becomes I'm the kind of person who doesn't miss twice. Miss twice and your brain reopens the case. Don't miss twice. Here's a tool that actually works. Implementation intentions. If-then scripts for your life. If it's 7:30 a.m., then I sit at the desk. If I feel the urge to scroll, then I stand up and drink water. If I miss my morning block, then I do it at 7:30 p.m. before any entertainment. Don't improvise. Script. The more decisions you make ahead of time, the fewer ambushes you lose during the day. You still think you need more confidence. No, you need proof. Confidence is proof remembered. Keep a tiny ledger of kept promises. 1 line per day. Non-negotiable. On days you want to quit, read the ledger. That's memory doing heavy lifting. That's your past self reaching forward to shove you into motion. Relationships again, because purpose attracts purpose. When you level up, your dating pool changes. Not because you're better, but because your patterns broadcast a new frequency, less chaos, more clarity. You'll intimidate people who thrive on drama. You'll soothe people who value depth. Don't dim to be digestible. Invite them to rise or release them to roam. Love that cost you your mission is just codependency with nicer lighting. Let's get precise about self-sabotage. It wears 5 masks. Delay. I'll start after I clean the kitchen. False start. Start, then clean. Data. I need 1 more tutorial. You need 1 more rep. Distraction. I'm multitasking. You're splintering your focus to avoid discomfort. Drama. Everything is happening at once. No. One thing is happening. The thing you chose to avoid. Doubt. Who am I to do this? You're the person willing to do it daily. That's who. Strip the mask, call it, counter it, then execute the next atomic step. You want a hard reset? Run the monk month. 30 days, Spartan rules, same wake time daily, phone out of bedroom, no social scroll until after the 30-minute block. 1 physical practice, walk, lift, or stretch, daily. Ship 1 artifact every week. Thread, sketch, code commit, page, pitch. Sunday review. What worked, what didn't, what changes. It's not punishment, it's purification. You're removing the sand from the gears so power can transmit. Now purpose and usefulness. You're tired of navel-gazing. Good. Turn outward. The fastest path to meaning is service with skill. Pick a pain bigger than your ego. Learn enough to reduce that pain by 1 unit. Repeat. You don't need a personal brand, you need a personal backbone. Solve, share, stay. If you want leverage, build tools, systems, or people. Tools scale effort. Systems scale outcomes. People scale everything. Your craft needs a scoreboard, not for clout, for clarity. Define 3 metrics that matter. Inputs you control, outputs you influence. Example, inputs, focused minutes, shipped artifacts, feedback loops closed. Outputs: clients helped, bugs fixed, pages read, weight lifted, money saved. Track weekly: no feelings, numbers over narrative. What if I fail publicly? You will. And it will feel like dying for about an hour. Then it will feel like data. Then it will feel like fuel. Your shame response is an alarm, not a verdict. Breathe. Write what you learned. Apply it. Keep moving. Most people aren't watching. The few who are respect recovery more than perfection. Let's fold in your earlier dream of freedom. Real freedom isn't skipping obligations. It's choosing worthy ones. You're not escaping rules. You're writing your own. You said you want to live boldly? Great. Here are bolder rules. I don't check my phone before I check in with my purpose. I don't explain my boundaries. I enforce them calmly. I don't audition for people who don't value consistency. I don't chase. I create gravity and let alignment do the sorting. You'll lose some noise. You'll gain real signal. That's the trade. Final coherence layer: community. Humans regulate humans. Your nervous system calibrates to the room. Choose your room. Find people whose default is execution. People who think shipping is normal and someday is a red flag. Meet weekly, share targets, share receipts. Call each other out with respect. Not a cheer squad, a standard squad. If no such room exists, build it. 2 people is a room. Takeaway for this section: the small mindset shift with lethal consequences. Stop asking, "What's my purpose?" and start asking, "What responsibility am I willing to carry every single day, especially when it's not fun?" Responsibility is purpose in work clothes. If you carry it long enough, it becomes identity. Identity creates momentum. Momentum becomes mastery. Mastery attracts impact. Impact attracts the right people. That's the chain. That's the life. You don't need more time. You need tighter loops. You don't need more opinions. You need more output. You don't need a sign. You need a spine. This is the last nudge you get from me today. Start the 90-day experiment now. Write the rule. Set the cue. Remove the friction. Do the first rep before your brain files an objection. Then go to bed with your ledger 1 line heavier, or keep flirting with your potential like it's a situationship you never commit to. Decide. Prove it. End.